So, only today I got a question that you have to explain about your home. And then I went on explaining about my house first. Then I realized that if the question is particularly about home, I should also include about my family members.
Good, good. Okay, right.
Hello,
Hi,
good afternoon.
good afternoon. Look at this familiar face. How are you, Raj?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how have you been?
I am also doing great. Thanks for asking me. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah,
It's been a very
because
long time. So it's good to connect with you on this app. And how's life? How's life treating you?
uh, it's all usual, nothing new from my side.
Okay?
Though I have improved a little bit. I mean, I'm improving little by little, and recently I have started giving tuitions to English uh, students as well. Like earlier,
Very
I was
good.
giving sessions
Okay.
only for the academy. Now I'm taking
Yeah.
session for spoken English as well, and
Okay.
there are two students. So I
Very
have been
good.
taking these sessions for a long time. So people come and go. So for a good duration of time I had no students, but two students have joined recently, like one and a
Okay.
half months maybe. So that's going good as well.
Good. Very good. And glad to know that you are giving some help with reference to English, spoken English.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when the learners are good, when they're enthusiastic, the tutors also will be doubly enthusiastic. They'll have more
definitely.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so today we don't have any topic prescribed. So if you want, you can suggest a topic, or I can make you do some activities. It's up to you. Do you have any questions? Anything that you want to ask me, or any topic that you would like to suggest?
yeah, like I told you, I wanted to connect with you, so I wanted to discuss one aspect of learning, that
Okay.
sometimes it's been 2 years since I have been practicing, and in the starting, I had thought that 1 year would be more than enough for me to reach my desired level, because I
Okay.
used to think that I have a good hold. But when I joined, I knew that okay, even after having a good hold on grammar, I am a complete beginner as far as speaking is concerned. So then
Okay.
maybe that time extended. It was not a hard and fixed rule that okay, I have to complete in within 1 year. If not, I will move forward.
Hmm.
So by then, I mean another year have passed by, and I'm still at upper intermediate level as far
Okay.
as speaking is concerned. Because I have taken a few tests here and there, like British Council, EF test, or
Okay.
Duolingo
Okay.
test. So 3 or 4 times I have got in upper intermediate as far as speaking is concerned, and C1 in other core skills. And
Okay.
yesterday I took another test. I got surprised that in speaking I got C2. So
Oh,
what
proficiency level, C2. Yes.
what I'm trying to say that okay, in this test I can get sometimes C2 or C1 or B1, B2, whatever it is, maybe according to the question and what the topic is. Maybe if I'm concerned with that topic, or if I'm aware of the topic, I would get higher marks. If I'm not, I'm fabricating the answers on my own spontaneously, I might get a lower scale. But my problem is that after reaching at this stage, if nothing is working in to that extent, like I told you, that even after starting a taking sessions for students,
Okay.
few students come and go. No one stick with me. Just one have stick, though he has increased, and that's why I have that faith that okay, I am on right path. But at this point of time, sometimes I do feel the plateau effect.
Okay.
So, what are the things that I should look forward to, and what
Okay.
would your suggestion for me, and for
Okay.
anybody who is in my situation?
Okay. Right. So this is an advanced problem, I would say, because you have been dealing with the language for quite some time. And I still remember the very first session that we had together. I mean, I gave you the feedback also. You were fumbling, you were not able to use. So there was a pattern of error, more than one pattern of errors
Right.
that you had, habitual pattern, everything. Now you have overcome all those problems, and now you have reached a particular level. So let's call it upper intermediate level, or maybe
Right.
C1 proficiency level. Now let's keep away the level for the time being.
Yeah,
Now, when
sure.
you are very fluent with a particular topic, when you know, when you are well read or well informed, you may not face many problems because you know you have a good grip on the topic and you'll feel confident. But when it comes to speaking, especially when you go for the IELTS exam and all that, even if you don't know much about a topic, you should be able to handle it well. And
All
that's
right.
where the skill play a very important role. Now, coming to your part, you are on the right track. If you feel that there is progress, of course, you're on the right track. Maybe you're taking it a bit slow. Now, what you have to work on is definitely the vocabulary, the way you frame sentences, and better pronunciation. Now, when it comes to speaking, it's not just grammar that they look into. And
All right.
sometimes we can go wrong with grammar also. Like you told me 2 weeks back, it was upper intermediate level. Now there's no big difference between upper intermediate level and C2. Of course, there is some difference, but still,
Yeah, sure.
here and there, you are maybe lurking between the two. You have a tendency to reach this side also. But whatever it is, you may have to work on these areas like how do I convey the thoughts effectively so that it reaches the listener in the best possible way. Okay, there are no rules saying you have to speak like this. No. But how do I make it better so that the speaker is able to comprehend it completely? That's one thing. Second, for that, how do I use grammar? How do I put in words? How do I sequence my thoughts so that it's understandable, so that it serves the purpose? So you see, it has got a lot to do with the communication aspect.
Yeah.
Language is important, but you've reached a particular level, but how do I communicate? I'll give you an example. When you take a fruit, the apple, you have words, you have grammar, everything is there. But describe the apple to me. So you'll be like, how do I describe? What's so special about an apple? But the task is describe. Tell me what it is. I haven't seen it in my life. So how will you communicate? That is a aspect. And when it comes to any test, proficiency level test, they look at how you communicate, vocabulary, grammar, sentence formation, pronunciation.
All right.
It's not right to always think that you have to use the advanced words. Some tutors say that, but it's not right all the time. It's okay to use even simple words, but are you doing justice to your sentence formation? Are you communicating it in the right way? Even if you fumble, it's okay. Even if you repeat, it's okay, until and unless it becomes a pattern. So I think occasional errors are there when it comes to phrases, when it comes to some usages. And for that, I would suggest reading, 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 listening, listening, listening. Use that and speak. Okay,
Okay.
because you have
Yeah.
reached a level where you can analyze and you know what your problem is. So you may
Definitely.
have 100 different ways of putting the same sentence. How are you can be used in different ways like that. It's not really about the advanced language, but how can I put it in maybe 5 other ways so that it becomes communicative, and how do I express it in a better way? So these are the other aspects. Yeah. Then the
Yeah.
modulation, the rise and tone, instead of being monotonous. Okay, suppose it's a question, da 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 da, it should go up. Otherwise, if you're stressing on something, where do I stress? Why should I stress? What's the purpose of stressing on a particular syllable? All these add to communication aspects, so language and communication. Yeah. So
Okay.
today,
Yeah.
what people do is they always feel, oh, accent. There are people who have got accent. You even listen to the native speakers; they have accent, but they could go wrong with a lot of other facets of language,
All
because
right.
we have the proficiency test even for them. The British Council conducts the test
They initiate the test, they encourage the test for everyone. Of course, with
Right.
non-native speakers, where they have a different parameter, but even for native speakers, they also take up these tests.
Right.
Okay, so don't worry. So tomorrow, today it could be maybe upper intermediate level, and tomorrow it will be C1, and maybe after 2 weeks C2, depending on the topic. But this is where you have reached upper intermediate level, which is really good. Keep working to go to C1, C2. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you've
sure.
you've progressed that much. Did I answer your question? Did I leave out on any other aspect?
No, no, I got what I
Okay,
was expecting. Yeah.
okay. Any other questions? Any other clarification?
No, let's move
Okay,
on.
so Raj, like, what do you do after the sessions? How do you? I wouldn't call it recap and revise. You're not studying, you are learning. What else do you do to develop, to work on your language skills? You teach, you speak. I think you read also. You're into the reading habit. What else?
Yes.
How do you use it in your speech? How do you work on the language skills as such?
So when it comes to practicing on my own, uh, as far as speaking is concerned, no matter which topic I have read or I have listened to, I would try to speak that. Or maybe if I'm trying going somewhere, I would try to observe different thing in English itself. So like thinking in English, that is the one aspect. And when it comes to reading, uh,
Okay,
newspaper on a regular basis, and then uh, book 1 or 2 page a day.
okay. So
And when it comes to
reading
yeah,
1 or 2 pages a day
yeah,
from a book. Okay, right?
or if it comes to listening,
Mhm.
I am following 2 or 3 podcasts. One is Think Fast, Talk Smart,
Okay,
and another's are related to BBC Learning English or BBC
okay,
News Channel maybe.
right, right. Okay. So that's great. You can implement some of the words, you can use those phrases. When you listen to standard English, it will be beneficial, it will prove beneficial. Can you read this word for me?
Reading,
It's reading, correct.
yeah,
But
reading.
I
So
think I
I
heard
said reading,
reading,
yeah.
reading.
Of
Yes,
course, I have been working on this pronunciation aspect, like meaning and meaning. So,
yes.
I mean, it happens sometimes that in a flow, I pronounce it the old way.
Reading, as reading. Okay, what you could do is now, just now, you pronounced it well. You can use it in sentences. For
Yeah,
example, push yourself to use this word as many number of times as possible. For example, like this. Reading is a different skill. You need to keep reading to develop your vocabulary. I know it's not advisable to keep using the same word, but still push yourself to repeatedly use that word.
yeah,
Because when
sure.
you use it in sentences, you will not be very careful. You'll be focusing on the other aspects of speaking and making the sentences and all that. So it's a subconscious effort. You record whatever you're doing and then listen. So at least in 3 or 4 places, you would have told reading, and in one place, reading.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
And this is correct. It's listening, listening,
listening.
listening. Correct. Okay. Yeah. So that's a good way of working on your language. Try to incorporate whatever you have listened to, whatever you have read from. Like you read 2 or 3 pages a day, make use of the
Yeah,
words, make use of the phrases. That's how you grow. Otherwise, you'll be in the same level. Okay.
right,
And also, when do we use the? For example, that is one of the aspects, is correct, but not that is the one aspect. That is one of the aspects. One of the aspects that I'm
that is,
working
yeah,
on. Yeah, but not that is the one aspect. So maybe restructuring the sentences, not everywhere, but here and there.
right,
Restructuring the sentences, you put the here. I feel you need to focus a bit more. And because you're already into social media platforms and because you've already been taking sessions, you're quite comfortable with the recording part, being on camera. You can do it when you're alone, so that even here we are getting the sessions recorded. Just listen to how and where you're making the mistake.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a slip of tongue, but this is where you could focus to get that C1, C2 proficiency.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like the distance is not much, but there are certain things that makes another person better or another level. Why that level is there? Of course, advanced usage of words and sentences. That's one aspect. It will take some time, but rectifying the errors is also there. Whatever you have should be good. You
Definitely.
can't keep making the mistakes and then go to the next level. That's not possible. So I think these are
Sure.
some of the things that you could work on.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, right. Yeah. Any other aspects that you really want to work on, that you really want me to elaborate on?
Yeah. One thing that we talk about, including a few idioms or phrases in our
Okay.
discussion.
Okay.
So, if I talk about uh, including these things, like no matter how many times I learn it and try to speak, but whenever I use it, it seems like I'm using it deliberately. It's not coming naturally.
Oh, okay. This is a common comment. Even when it comes to IELTS speaking, generally the native examiners say Indians learn a lot of idioms and phrases, but it doesn't come naturally.
Right.
Okay, there is this artificiality. It could be probably because one is we're not used to it. We have idioms and phrases in Hindi and our native tongue. We use it naturally because the context is quite natural. So one thing is you have to get used to it. Second is when you learn a new idiom, be very careful. Make sure that it's suitable. Okay, because sometimes it's not just about speaking with the natives or people who are proficient in the language. If you're not sure, don't use it. You have the form of verbs also when it comes to the idiom. Sometimes you have to change the verbs, tweak in a bit.
Right.
Yeah. And some people just learn it like that, they copy paste. So if you're not sure, if you feel the context is a mismatch, don't ever attempt. But if you really want to put some fragrance and some kind of scent into your sentences, enrich it, get used to it. Again, practice.
Okay.
Okay, keep practicing it. Try to think of different contexts where you can use possible contexts. So you can take your day, for example, a day in my life. I woke up late in the morning, for example. Okay, so think of the different sequences. Sequence the activities. You have a list of idioms with you. Try to insert it in one of these aspects. So if you have 5 activities done during the entire day, check if you can put any of these, whatever you have on the other side. If not possible, try to think of the possible situations where you can insert these idioms. It's not that you will encounter such situations, but you'll be familiar. Oh, maybe if it happens like this, I can use it. Or suppose you
Right.
need to speak, don't have it in your mind, you need to speak. So you can use this particular idiom when the situation is like this. If you're not getting any situation, you can listen more about it. You can listen to that particular context or Google and find out more about it.
Definitely.
Read more
Yeah.
about the usage. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, this is a general problem, and even provision speakers um, find it a bit daunting to use the idioms and phrases. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is not to use it unnecessarily if you're not really sure, because it can miscommunicate.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so what you could do is I'll be showing you some pictures. Okay,
Yeah.
tell
Sure.
me whatever comes to your mind. Try to connect it with the morning, whatever you've been doing it in the morning, or something that you did yesterday. So, for example,
Okay.
if this is one picture, you can say, I
Yeah.
think I drank 2 glasses of water this morning. I had
Right.
2 glasses of water this morning, or maybe 1 cup of chai, whatever comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, it's your interpretation, okay? There are no right and wrong answers. Okay.
Whenever I can go outside early morning to see the sunrise, I feel my day becomes more productive.
So whenever I get a chance to experience the sun or whenever I can enjoy the sun rays, I do that. Okay?
Yeah.
I do that. I don't miss a chance. I don't miss the chance of experiencing the sun falling
Yes.
on me. There are different ways in which you can express the same thing, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the pronunciation of
Whenever.
whenever. Yeah,
Whenever.
yeah. Right. Then the last one.
A few days ago, my nephews were my home, and they used to play with different dolls at the same time as well. And the one
Yes.
among the two uh, used to play with doll, and I would ask the elder one to tease him that you are a guy, you should not play with doll.
Okay. So few days back, my nephews were at home. They were at home. They were here. That's the meaning. They were with me, and that's when they did all these things.
Right, right.
Okay, right. So you teased, you played, you had a quality time together. Shall I give you
Definitely.
one more picture?
Yeah.
Now you have to interpret the picture. Okay, that's the last one.
Okay. So, could you show it, please, again?
Yes, yes, yes. You can connect it in any way. It's a rectangular. It is
Yeah, of
a
course.
rectangular. It's rectangular in shape. So anything.
Yeah, like I was explaining about my nephews. So the elder one uh, used to ask so many questions. He has gotten an
Okay,
interest in mathematics, and even though he is in just class two, he was
okay.
asking about rectangle to me.
Oh, okay. So that's great. So there is a difference between explain and elaborate.
Yeah,
Okay. Explain and elaborate. You need to check. Explanation is given when you have a reason, when you have to really give the details. Here it's elaborating, or I was speaking
yeah,
about
right,
something. So
right, right.
explanation is different and elaboration is different. So find
Okay,
out more about. Don't just look at the dictionary meaning, you have to go a bit deep. See the context where you can use explaining, like I was explaining, or like I was elaborating, or like I was just speaking about my nephews. This is what happened.
yeah,
So speaking about
okay,
is also okay, you are giving details, but is it explaining which one is better, or elaborating, or speaking about? So just find out more, that's all.
okay.
So these
Yeah,
are some
speaking
of the
about
my, yeah,
speaking is the appropriate here.
yeah, speaking about, I was elaborating. If you were giving lot of details, that's when you use elaborating, but not explaining. So I think these are the places where you could work upon. I told you phrases, okay, short words, some kind of common compound words, phrases, the use of the. Just now you said the younger one. That's correct. The
Right.
younger one, like that. Just focus. You're doing a very good job. Keep going, and really glad to meet you after a long time.
Same here. Yeah.
Bye bye. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care. And see you in another session.
Sure. Bye bye.